On September 21st, 2025, in a synchronized diplomatic bombshell, the UK, Canada, and Australia officially recognized Palestinian statehood, joining 144 UN nations and piling unprecedented pressure on Israel amid the ongoing Gaza crisis. This isn't isolated symbolism, it's a fracture in the Five Eyes alliance, driven by protests, polls, and global South solidarity. With X exploding in real-time debates, could this tip the scales toward peace or ignite new tensions? Welcome to Milwaukee Insights, decoding 2025's power plays. I'm your host, and we're broadening the lens, from domestic drivers to UN ripple effects, economic fallout, and what this means for the global South. By the end, you'll see why this shift could redefine alliances. Viewer, boon for justice or recipe for chaos? Comment now. New here? Subscribe and bell, join our decoders. Let's detonate the details. Why today, September 21st, 2025? It's a confluence of crises. The Gaza war's human toll, over 40,000 dead per UN reports, has fueled global outrage, amplified by 2025's AI deep-faked viral videos. ICC arrest warrants for Israeli leaders since May 2024, and ICJ orders to halt Rafah operations, created legal landmines these allies couldn't ignore. Domestically, it's survival. Starmer faces Labour revolt amid UK polls showing 65% youth favouring recognition. Trudeau contends with Canada's multicultural backlash. Albanese rides Australia's progressive wave. Broader still, global South solidarity, South Africa's genocide case, Brazil's UN resolutions, has isolated the West, while economic BDS campaigns, for example $5 billion in 2025 divestments, add pressure. X trends like #recognize Palestine, 10M posts today, show this as realpolitik 2.0, leaders betting on votes and virtue in a multipolar world. At Milwaukee Insights, we see this as the West catching up to a shifting global consensus. This recognition isn't unqualified. All three specify a future state based on 1967 borders, shared Jerusalem capital, and explicit rejection of Hamas governance, aligning with EU stances but stopping short of immediate embassy moves. It boosts the Palestinian Authority's legitimacy in the West Bank while isolating militants in Gaza. Globally, it tips UN dynamics. Now, 144 states recognize Palestine, potentially unlocking observer status upgrades or aid flows. $10 billion projected in 2026. Broader economic angle. It amplifies BDS, with 2025 divestments hitting $15 billion globally, pressuring Israel's tech sector, $50 billion exports. For the global South, it's validation. Countries like India or Indonesia see this as a win against colonial legacies. Yet, it isolates Biden's US, straining NATO and Five Eyes amid 2025's AI-driven info wars. At Milwaukee Insights, this is hybrid diplomacy, symbolic yet strategic, blending morals with markets in our interconnected era. Merits shine. This injects momentum into stalled two-state talks, empowering moderates and aligning with 2025's Global South push, for example, BRICS resolutions. It could unlock $20 billion in aid, boost PA governance, and reduce extremism by validating diplomacy. Challenges loom. Israel vows retaliation. Netanyahu called it a terror reward, potentially accelerating settlements, up 20% in 2025. Downsides. Heightened Gaza tensions, US aid cuts, $3.8 billion to Israel at risk of scrutiny, and alliance strains amid 2025's cyber disinfo campaigns. Broader fallout, UN votes could shift, for example, full membership push, while global South economies gain from diversified trade, for example, Palestine's $1 billion export potential. X analytics show 70% global South approval, but Western divides deepen. At Milwaukee Insights, this is multipolar realignment, a step toward equity, but fraught with volatility in our AI-amplified world. The UK, Canada, and Australia's September 21st, 2025 recognition redraws the map, boosting peace prospects while risking rifts. From UN halls to global markets, the dominoes are tumbling. If this breakdown fired you up, like, share, and subscribe to Milwaukee Insights. Vote. Next move? Thanks for decoding. Next, we track the waves.